Cross-browser testing is a test type that allows us to run the same test on more than one browser. For example, we can execute the test on Chrome and execute the same test on Firefox or Edge. It is a good way to analyze the test results. There is no limit to the number of browsers. With LambdaTest online Selenium Grid, we can run our automation test scripts on a cloud infrastructure containing over 3,000 desktop and mobile browser environments. All of the code from this video will be on GitHub. Let's start by creating a new class. Go onto the IDE, we right-click the package, demo TestNG, new Java class. The name will be cross-browser testing. Next, I will write public WebDriver, then import WebDriver, followed by inserting some lines. Let's also create a TestNG XML file. Right-click the project, new TestNG. The name will be TestNG cross-browser.xml. Remember to always include the extension of .xml. The name of the suite will be cross-browser testing. There will be two browsers that we're going to execute on, Chrome and Edge. Let's use Firefox. No, we can use Edge. Either way is okay. Let's add the test tags. Name equals test on Chrome. There will be 3 parameters. The first parameter is browser with a value of Chrome. I will copy and paste the line statement 2 times. The second parameter is version, and it has a value of 103. The third parameter is platform. It has a value of Windows 10. At this point, we're going to have our classes by first adding the classes tag. Within the classes tag, we're going to write the class tag. And with the name, it always begins with the package, which is demo TestNG, followed by the name of the class, cross-browser testing. We are now finished with the first test. Let's copy the first test, and we're going to create the second test. Paste, change the name from test on Chrome to test on Edge. Change the value of the browser to Edge. Now we are finished with the TestNG XML file. Let's go back to the cross-browser testing class. We need the private string of user name, rex.jones. After username, let's add the access key, private string access key. And I will come back and enter the value for access key. After access key, we write private string hub. The value of hub begins with the @ symbol, followed by hub.lambdatest.com /WD/hub. After hub, we write the desired capabilities, and it has a reference of caps, new desired capabilities. After desired capabilities, we're going to include the parameters annotation, followed by the configuration annotation from TestNG. And the annotation we will use is at before method, public void setup. Let's go back right quick and add the values for the parameter annotation. Value equals curly brackets, double quotes, and now we add the values of browser, comma, version, followed by platform. Bingo. If I go to the XML file, we see the same values as the TestNG parameter name: browser, version, and platform. Now, these values must be spelled the same. So far, our code has the parameter annotation values. Now let's add the setup method parameter values of string browser, string version, and string platform. These parameter values can be any name. However, I prefer to have the same name as the parameter annotation so it lines up correctly. Now, the method parameter values get their values from the TestNG XML file value. If I go back to the XML file right here, we see the value of Chrome 103, Windows 10 for both tests. The only difference is the value of the browser, Chrome and Edge. So now we are finished with the XML file. Let's go ahead and continue setting up Selenium Grid. The object reference of caps grants our test script to set the capabilities by writing caps.setCapability. Let's add the build with a name of 2.1. Bingo. Now we have a way to set the name by writing caps.setCapabilities name, and the value would be cross browser testing. Add some more room. After the name, we're going to pass in the three parameters of string, browser, version, and platform by writing caps.setCapability browser name, and the value is what we pass in from the TestNG XML file to the method parameters browser. I will copy and paste it 2 times. Change browser name to version, and I'm gonna pass version in as the argument. After version, I'm gonna change browser name to platform, then pass in platform. Bingo. We're going to set 3 more capabilities: network, console, and visual. All of them will be set to true because the default is false. Caps.setCapability network with the value of true. Once again, copy, paste 2 more times. Change the second one from network to console. Change the third one and last one from network to visual. Visual takes a screenshot of every test step. Console records the JavaScript logs. Network, it captures a recording when executing the test. In addition to the desired capabilities, let's also create an instance of remote WebDriver. We are not running our test in a local environment, so that's why we will not use Chrome driver or Edge driver. We create the instance inside of a try catch block, starting with driver equals new remote WebDriver. Within remote WebDriver, we're going to write new URL in all caps. Then pass in https://2/ followed by plus. Let's make room by putting the next information on the next line. Username plus the double quotes, colon. After the double quotes, access key, then hub. After this, we write caps. And that's it. After we import URL from java.net. Now that we have the try part finished, let's add the information for the catch. Malformed URL exception, exe, and we're going to write print stack trace. We will be finished, set up on our Selenium Grid after I write the driver.get statement so we can load the page. And I will come back to add the information for the URL. Now, let me show you a shortcut how we could have set up Selenium Grid by coming to Automation Capabilities Generator. This site provides the shortcut of setting up Selenium Grid. This page provides the ability to select a language of Java, Node.js, C#, PHP, Python, and Ruby. Also, we can select a framework of Java, JUnit, TestNG, and Selenium. Did you notice the sample code changing in the black box? If I change the language from Java to C# or Python, and the framework updates as well, we could have copied the code to set up Selenium Grid. But for this demo, I thought it was best to create the code from scratch. After running our test, we can have the test artifacts such as the test results and screenshots and video will appear on this site. Let me navigate to profile and copy my access token. Bingo. Okay, go back to my IDE and paste the access key. At this point, now for our test. Go to application under test, and we're going to go and walk through our test script on Selenium Playground created by LambdaTest. There will be two test scripts. The first test script involves clicking Selenium drop-down list from input forms. Then select a day from the drop-down. The next test script, we're going to navigate to others, then drag and drop. For demo 2, we will drag me to my target box to the drop here box. That would be our two test scripts. Let's investigate the page of Selenium of select drop-down list. Inspect the drop-down, and we see it has an ID value of select demo. Let's verify if it is a unique ID value. Control F, hashtag select demo, select hyphen demo, and we see that it's unique and it has been located with the yellow background in the DOM. Now, let's also go ahead and copy this URL so I can paste it so we can load the, you know what, let me go back and paste the URL, copy the URL from Selenium Playground. I think I copied it already, but I'm not sure. Paste, and now we have the page to be loaded, driver.get. For the test, we write public void test drop down. The first step is to click the hyperlink by writing driver.findElement by link text. And the text was select drop down list. And for links, we perform an action of click. Next is to find the drop down element by writing driver.findElement by ID. Select -demo was the ID value. Then we assign it to web element find drop down. Let's import web element. And once we import the class, well, it's actually interface, but it shows import class. The next step, we need the select class to select a value from a drop down. The object reference is day drop down equal to new select. At this point, we pass in the web element of find drop down. Let's also import select because I see it's red. Now the day drop down provides access to 3 methods that allows us to select a value. We see select by visible text, select by value, and select by index. Let's use select by visible text. Then pass in Saturday as the day. This first test is complete. For the second test, let's navigate to others and drag and drop demo. Let's inspect the drag me to my target box. It has an ID value of draggable. Let's also inspect drop here. That box has an ID value of droppable. Okay, so going back to the IDE, we're going to start with our test annotation. Public void test drag and drop. First step is to click the link of driver.findElement by link text, and that value was drag and drop. Perform an action of click. Next is to find the draggable source box by writing driver.findElement by ID. It had a value of draggable. We're going to assign this to a web element, which is the source. Next, we find the other web element, which is the target. Driver.findElement by ID, and the target had a value of droppable. Okay, so now we have the source, we have the target. Next step is to perform actions with the reference of ACT equals new actions. We must pass in the driver. ACT provides a way to perform different actions. Let's select drag and drop. Then pass in source, followed by target. We must also add perform at the end so we can perform the action. That's it for the second test. Now that we are finished with both tests, let's run the TestNG XML file. In the run window, we see test on Chrome with both methods should show up. Test drag and drop Okay, now let's go to the test drop down. Now we see test and on edge, and both methods pass for test on Chrome, cross-browser testing. Go to the Selenium automation build, and notice we see cross-browser testing 2 times, and for Edge, and cross-browser testing for Chrome. Okay, and I'm not sure, but we can also do another thing for us updating this information. This here's the 2.1, the build that we saw. In this layout right here, we have the option of looking at a video and screenshots. Let's go ahead and click the name on the right side for one of the session names. And it's generating the test logs, and it shows the steps. We can also view the screenshot and parameters. View parameters, view screenshot. And it shows the screenshot. I'm going to close this. We also can watch the video. And if I increase it, it shows Saturday in the drop down. That's one part of the test. The second test have not came yet, but it's running and it's executing. So that's how we perform cross-browser testing using TestNG and Cloud Selenium Grid. Next, we will perform geolocation testing. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.